Hey everyone, my name is Wedge and we're back with more Commander 2017 spoiler coverage. Before we get into that, in case you missed it, we revealed our very own exclusive Commander 2017 preview card earlier today. You can watch that video by clicking the link on the screen. It's a hilarious card. I think you're going to like it. Alright, with all that said, let's get right into it. Bloodforged Battle Axe is 1 mana for an artifact equipment with an equip cost of 2. Equipped creature gets +2/+0. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, create a token that's a copy of the axe. Well, holy crackerjacks, an axe that duplicates itself? This could get out of control real fast. You just keep equipping axes, they keep triggering you get more axes. All you need is a way to give everything trample in your deck and boom, you're done. Your opponents won't be able to find their way out of your axe maze. Best part? This and Balan together, beyond outrageous. You just keep equipping everything to him, he gets bigger and bigger, then you keep doing that. The dude is gonna wield more weapons than Killer Bee from Naruto. If you got that reference, I love you. Anyways, the Bloodforged Battle Axe is a fun magic card that will assuredly lead to hilarious board states. Big fan. Herald's Horn is 3 mana for an artifact. When it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creature spells you cast of the chosen type cost 1 less to cast. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature card of the chosen type, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. This is assuredly just the beginning of the crazy tribal goodness we're going to get. 3 mana, you choose a creature type, this discounts all spells of that creature type, and you get an extra card in your upkeep if it's one of your tribe's creatures. Alright, I mean, this can go into any tribal deck known to humankind. I can't really think of any tribal deck that wouldn't want something like this. It's cheap, no color identity, cheapens all creature spells of your tribe, and gives you card advantage. Yes, please, Wizards of the Coast, I'll take this obviously ridiculous value. Much appreciated. What even is this set? Alms Collector is 4 mana for a 3/4 Cat Cleric with Flash. If an opponent would draw 2 or more cards, instead you and that player each draw a card. Hilarious! And I'm a blue player with a Hose Kitty. We're talking anti-Brainstorm, anti-Consecrated Sphinx, anti-Blue Sun Zenith. Beyond funny. Alms Collector is just a savage feline beating, and the number of cards you get to wreck with this Cat Cleric nearly unending. There are so many cards in Magic that draw 2 or more cards. Imagine flashing this against a Maul Drifter Evoke? Come on. How is that not the best thing ever? Alms Collector is a huge hate card in white, great addition to that deck and to the color in general. Flash on this? Man, that's brutal. Scale Lord Reckoner is 3 of anything and 2 white for a 4/4 dragon with flying. Whenever a dragon you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, destroy target non-land permanent that player controls. Sure, this is fair. This is basically Karmic Justice, but way angrier and ready to fight. 5 mana for a 4/4 dragon with flying is already decent, but this ability, this trigger, this is straight oppressive. You get to destroy any non-land permanent. My goodness, what a total bomb dragon. White is looking real good in Commander 2017 so far, jeez. Now sure, it only deters removal on your dragons individually, but what a deterrent it is. I mean, really, wow. Kindred Discovery is 3 of anything and 2 blue for an enchantment. As it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Whenever a creature you control of the chosen type enters the battlefield or attacks, draw a card. Well, hello there, amazing tribal enchantment. With this new toy, blue tribal decks have an absolute boost in power, and we're not just talking dragons and wizards, oh no. Merfolk get to use this, fairies get to use this, Sphinx if you prefer. Of all the colors in Magic, I do think blue needed a little more tribal support, so Kindred Discovery is a good add. Talk about an enticing reason to be in the color. On entry to the battlefield and on attack, what a powerful trigger. You'll be drawing cards all day, every day. Bloodline Necromancer is 5 mana for a 3/2 vampire wizard with lifelink. When it enters the battlefield, you may return target vampire or wizard creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Hot dang, this brings the creature directly onto the battlefield. I was deterred by the cost at first, but reanimation is not a cheap effect. And you get a 3/2 with lifelink to boot. Yeah, this is real good in any type of vampire or wizard tribal deck. And it's an enter the battlefield ability, which means you can abuse this beyond reason with flicker effects, unsummon effects, or reanimation effects. This may not seem like much at first glance, but Bloodline Necromancer is powerful. Reanimation on an enter the battlefield trigger, nothing to scoff at, wow. Territorial Kite is 2 of anything and 2 red for a 6/5 dragon with flying and haste. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose an opponent at random that Territorial Kite didn't attack during your last combat. The Kite attacks that player this combat if able. If you can't choose an opponent this way, tap the Kite. Well, clearly this Kite has some serious boundary issues. Real insecure, Mr. Dragon Guy. Anywho, Territorial Kite is basically Chaos Incarnate. Normally I would shy away from cards like this, but they made a 4-mana 6/5 with flying and haste, and no real drawback for you besides the fact that you don't get to choose the target. I mean, if that's what I have to give up for a 6/5 with 2 relevant keywords for 4 mana, I'll do that every time. What an absolute beating this card is. If you have a deck that runs creatures, you'd be hard-pressed to find a reason not to run this. So brutal. 6/5? It's insanity. Rough translation, summon Kindred is 5 of anything and 2 green for an instant. Choose a creature type, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X creatures of the chosen type, where X is the number of creatures you control of the chosen type, and place them onto the battlefield. Shuffle the other cards revealed this way into your library. Okay, so basically you're spending 7 mana to double the number of tribal creatures you have on the board. This is going to be especially disastrous in decks where you can create tokens that share a creature type with your tribe. Elves, slivers, spiders, snakes, treefolk, werewolves. There are plenty of green tribes out there that this would fit well into. Again, especially decks that are good at creating tokens. Think Riss or Ishkana. Expensive? Yes, but certainly explosive, and in the right deck, a game ender for sure. Path of Ancestry is a land card that enters the battlefield tapped. You can tap it and add to your mana pool 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. When that mana is spent to cast a creature spell that shares a creature type with your commander, scry 1. Besides entering the battlefield tap, this card's absurd. It's like Tribal Command Tower on steroids. You get perfect mana fixing, and you get to scry 1 each time you cast one of your tribal creature spells. Path of Ancestry is ridiculous, and another card on the quote, I have to play this in my tribal deck unquote list. Well, did not expect something this blatantly powerful. Literally no reason not to play this in any type of tribal commander deck ever. It's crazy. Today's previews were pretty insane. I think it's safe to say that these tribal decks are going to do a lot for tribal support in the entire format. I'm sure we all knew that. But to see some of these cards now, they are impressive to say the least. What do you think? Which cards excite you the most? What are you still waiting for? I'd love to hear what you have to say, so be sure to leave all your thoughts down below and we'll talk about it. And as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time. This video is brought to you in part by TCGplayer.com. If you're as hyped as I am about Commander 2017, you can get your pre-order on already. All 4 tribal decks are available for pre-order right this second. You can get a copy of each on TCG Player for $120 right now. That's $30 per deck. Pretty good deal if you ask me. Super reliable sellers. Can't go wrong. If this is something that you're interested in, just click the link on the screen. Helps the channel. We all win. Enjoy.
Wow.